The great Laura Loomer. Some of you know Laura. She's a fantastic person, great woman.
Hey, everybody. We're here at Bedminster. I'm with the greatest president ever.
Should Democrats be in jail? No question. When Donald Trump gets elected, should he start locking them up? No question. Should there be lists of Democrats that need to go to jail? 100%.
Not just jail. They should get the death penalty.
Well, this one has to hit Donald Trump where it really hurts, because the person who is perhaps his most infamously deranged supporter is now publicly sounding the alarm that Donald Trump is on track to lose this election. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, I'm going to say a name. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. We don't actually cover her a lot in this channel because she's unhinged. But Laura Loomer is perhaps Donald Trump's most devout MAGA cultist who isn't Marjorie Taylor Greene. This person doesn't, sit in public office. But if you think of all the Trump fanatics, Cat Turd, Cernovich, Tim Pool, whatever, Laura Loomer, I think, is probably the most, shall we say, devoted. Okay. Well, even Laura Loomer, who has said some genuinely deranged and unhinged things and who has a close relationship with Donald Trump, she is publicly sounding the alarm. Okay. So let's read this together. Let's just call it like it is. Trump's strongest allies and biggest donors are all concerned. They see no ground game. Zero calls for accountability from House Republicans who are on vacation until September 9th. Trump was shot less than a month ago, and nobody is even talking about it, even though a Secret Service whistleblower said we should, quote, expect, quote, another assassination attempt. Vice President Harris's honeymoon isn't a honeymoon. She's getting away with FEC violations, and nobody on Team Trump is combating the astroturfing of the media and the paid-for social media operation to manufacture her as a legitimate candidate. No idea what she's talking about, FEC violation, but that's Laura Loomer for you. She just makes things up. Why not force the media to talk about who's getting paid? Why not demand that Harris be held accountable for the cover-up of Biden's declining mental and physical health? Why not remove Biden and put the pressure on Kamala being an extension of Biden? Republicans are dropping the ball. Biden is going to leave office unscathed and then pardon his son on the way out. Crackhead son is what she says. Nothing is being done to combat the Dems' plan to not certify the election on January 6, 2025. I've been screaming about this for months, and nobody even wants to address it. There is no plan for Democrats to not certify the election in 2025, even if Trump wins. That's how devoutly loyal we are to the Constitution. We won't be happy about it, but we'll do it. Guess what? We're on track to lose the House, so someone better take it seriously, or else Jamie Raskin and Eric Swalwell will successfully keep Trump out of office. The Supreme Court of the United States already said Congress could do this. Not sure what she's talking about. But Republicans are silent. Why? These last 4 weeks have produced some of the shittiest messaging from surrogates on TV I've ever seen. There's zero offense. Guess Republicans refuse to actually fight fire with fire. Zero follow-through with James Comer's BS investigations to nowhere because everyone is on vacation. Could also be she's referring to the failed sham impeachment efforts against President Biden. Perhaps it's because he hasn't committed an impeachable offense. Food for thought. Whatever happened to impeaching Biden? Zero plan to combat big tech election interference. What big tech election interference? As a matter of fact, the owner of this site, Twitter, Elon Musk, has been busted repeatedly banning Harris-related or Harris-friendly related accounts. White dudes for Harris, progressives for Harris, and others. Interesting. Some staff are too territorial to even allow anyone who wants to help actually help, and some don't even give Trump the information he needs to see. Presumably, I don't know if she's referring to herself. Maybe she's saying that some of Trump's staff are trying to keep her away from him. It's probably a good idea because she is insane. It's probably in Trump's best interest politically to stay away from her, but as I'm going to show you in a couple of clips, he doesn't. I'm disappointed, and I'm tired of giving feedback that's ignored when everyone knows I'm right, but they're too scared to say it because they think their access will be revoked. Time to get serious before we lose the whole country. I don't care who I offend either because this is the truth. If you care about Donald Trump, you should want him to see the truth. I'm not sure Laura Loomer is particularly familiar with the truth, but yeah, she's freaking out, folks. She's freaking out, and it's glorious. It's delicious, this idea that this cult, which is so ruthlessly devoted to Donald Trump, certainly above the country and the Constitution, are now recognizing the Harris Walls momentum for what it is. And They feel that they can lose the election. And they're right. This is going to be a close competitive election. And right now, in this moment, Donald Trump is losing. I want to play you a couple of clips, though, to really emphasize, to drive this home, how important this is and how major this is that Laura Loomer is coming out and publicly saying this. Donald Trump and Laura Loomer are friends.
Yeah, Bernie's doing well. The great Laura Loomer. Some of you know Laura. She's a fantastic person, great woman, and a tremendous developer from New York and Florida.
Fantastic woman. She's a great person. Couple more clips to really cement how devoted she is to this man.
Hey everybody, we're here at Bedminster. I'm with the greatest president ever, President Donald Trump, who is killing it right now. There's a new poll out, right? You're crushing it. You're up over 50 points. And it's a beautiful day here. Beautiful club. It's my first time here at Bedminster.
Well, it's great to have you, and you've been really very special. You work hard, and you are a very opinionated lady. I have to tell you that, and in my opinion, I like that.
Well, I
but
appreciate that.
all of your support, and you've been terrific, and everybody appreciates your support.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Laura.
you. Thank you so
One more clip of him giving her a shout out or being seen beside her to really emphasize the nature of their relationship. And this, by the way, she gets the shout out. She's right here in the bottom left side of the screen, and standing next to Trump on the podium, or near the podium, is Carrie Lake. And I think Laura Loomer is even crazier and more devoted than Carrie Lake is to Trump.
We have a lot of great friends and a lot of great people. Laura, how are you? You look so beautiful, as always. That's a woman with courage. You don't want to be Loomered. If you're Loomered, you're in deep trouble. That's the end of your career, in a sense.
Right. So Laura Loomer, having said all of that, is terrified about the current state of the election. She recognizes that the momentum is on the side of the Democrats. She said a lot of other stupid, dishonest things in that Twitter screed. But the one thing that is true is that Trump is in jeopardy of losing this election. He just is. Now, I have no doubt, again, the Democrats will certify the results of the 2025 election should Trump win. We did it in 2017. There was no insurrection, unlike what MAGA tried to do on January 6, 2021. I digress. Staggering difference between the two parties there. But she's sounding the alarm. When you consider that, and also consider what Trump's recent emergency panicked press conference, even though, again, they may never publicly admit it, right? Carolyn Leavitt, Trump's spokesperson, Trump himself, I mean, they're in professional politics. Chris Lasavita, one of his senior strategists, they're not going to publicly admit that they're in jeopardy, right? It's going to be the utter projection of confidence. But Laura Loomer, perhaps the most deranged Trump fanatic, recognizes that they're in danger. One last thing, though, just in case people who aren't familiar with Laura Loomer think, okay, well, how? Okay, she's just standard MAGA. How crazy is she? I want to play you a clip of a recent exchange she had on Tim Pool, in which Tim Pool, who, by the way, says genuinely unhinged things and is an outspoken Trump supporter. What Tim Pool did at the very end of this, he had to cut the feed. He had to instantly nuke his own video because she was on it. And she said something that was even too deranged for Tim Pool.
I'll put it this way. Should Democrats be in jail? No question. When Donald Trump gets elected, should he start locking them up? No question. Should there be lists of Democrats that need to go to jail? 100%. And the reason for that is they've committed crimes. We need to make sure that when Donald Trump wins, we've got an attorney general, a deputy attorney general, a head of the CIA and the FBI. Kash Patel would be fantastic. We can have attorney general. There's some names floating around. And then they can start having their investigators and the feds issuing subpoenas, pulling up evidence, and with real evidence, bring them to judges for warrants. Then these people can spend three years of their lives fighting tooth and nail for the crime against the government for crimes they committed, and we can prove. Yeah. And the reason why we put them on trial is that we can show the whole world we will uncover what you've done. We will make sure everyone knows, and you will be held accountable for it.
Not just jail, they should get the death penalty. You know, we actually used to have the punishment for treason in this country.
And then they had to nuke the stream because Tim Pool, who just publicly advocated not 50 seconds before for jailing Democrats, for investigating, prosecuting, and imprisoning Democrats, having lists of Democrats who need to be investigated, prosecuted, and jailed. she said something so unhinged that even he was like, cut the feed, which is that she wants Democrats murdered. She wants them killed. So, yeah, we could go into a deeper dive into Laura Loomer's insanity, but I think even as a brief snapshot, she clearly has a tight relationship with Trump. She's clearly devoted to Trump. She's clearly unhinged. And even she is sane enough to publicly acknowledge that his campaign is in dire straits. And again, we should take nothing for granted, but we should have a little bit of hope and a little bit of joy that even they fear that they can lose the election, which is great. Let me know what you think in the comments.